to start, you see the background. Background is a blackout curtain. And now it is blurred. That is what happens to our mind. When the mind finds the value outside. Pay attention. We have been discussing about the value in the last 3 sessions, and when we say that when you value something outside, it is a part of the delusion or it is a part of the transactional reality. And that is why we say mind is a necessary evil, mind is a helper, mind is a barrier. I cannot do without mind. It is a necessary evil. But still, so the entire journey of the Eastern wisdom is to make this mind a helper, not a barrier. So when you make the mind as a helper, what happens? The mind is married to the intellect. I am referring to the last 3 sessions. Up to that level, we have to keep in mind. And this mind becomes the helper by 3 principles applied. One is the satsang, second is the bhakti, or it means the pure emotion, and third is the 6 treasures of the mind. That is our 9th, 10th, and the 11th step. 9th, 10th, and the 11th step. To make it very simple, value means, sometimes value means the price and the worth. What is the cost of this car? Okay. $40,000. What is your cost? We get annoyed. But when I say I love you too much, I have already created a price for you. What you are talking about? Yes, I'm talking the fact. Honey, I love you so much. I have put the price. What is that price? That love. What is that? Love includes the physical relationship, emotional relationship, intellectual relationship, etc., 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 etc. Did you understand? You are going to destroy our relationship. No, I'm not going to destroy your relationship. We are trying to understand that is the problem and that is the solution. Yesterday this guy came. We had this online session. Understand clearly. You go to the store and the mall. Let me give you a couple of examples. Before that example of the mall, the moment I say, Dennis, how are you? So I have blurred the rest of the people in a session. My focus is on Dennis. It happens by default. It happens by default. But it should happen by default. That is the way we should work in the world. Are you paying attention? It's very important. We are going deeper. You all are seekers. So the moment I say Jerry, so my mind is focused on the Jerry. The rest of the people are blurred at that particular moment. But now, if the mind contains the element of sensuality, or it contains the element of attachment, it contains the element of a delusion, problem is there. Did you understand? No. Let me. I like you and I love you. Say any person. I don't want to point anyone, otherwise other people will feel bad. I love you. So the rest of the world is blurred, the way my curtain is blurred. One thing. Second thing, because I like you, I love you, it has an element of attachment. My mind creates a very big picture in the mind. And that big picture, mind is consumed by that picture. That is attachment, that is delusion, that is a problem. I see you. How I see you? I see you with sensuality, attachment, and delusion. I have already given a value to you. I have to get rid of this value. This value should go to the knowledge. Mind should get married to the intellect, and you are free. When? Here and now. Are you in meditation? Yes, you are in meditation. Did you understand that? No. Yeah, that is. So I went to my correction of the lens inside, and the doctor asked me to just look into the machine. So and look into the blue dot. And they don't want me to blink my eyelids. Say they put something and it kept open after dilating. They wanted to see the lens so that they can correct it. So I could see a very blue dot. They said, keep looking, and then they passed on the laser. For just 60 seconds, everything is blurred. So I got the metaphor from there. When I say I hate you, when I dislike you, that mind is contracted. It becomes like a dot. It doesn't want to see anything in you except you are crazy, you are bad. But when I like you, when I'm attached, mind is consumed. How it is consumed? I have such a big picture in my mind. And I don't care the rest. That is why I see I fall in love. That is the meaning of I fall in love. Now I have been loving, you want to break even the emotion of love. I have been loving, that is why you have been suffering. You have been loving. What I'm talking of the value. I'm expanding it. If you remain aware of this fact all the time, you are always free. The secret of two marriages. Teacher helps your intellect to marry the knowledge of Eastern wisdom. What Eastern wisdom says that I am the real self. There is only one reality. What is that reality? It is of the nature of peace, happiness, love, truth, and wisdom. But mind has to apply. But the mind is applying outside. Mind is applying outside. Now I will bring that example. Did I tell you that young guy went for a dining and then he saw the beautiful girls? Pay attention, beautiful girls. By default, I have an attraction. I am dining, but the rest of my activities is blurred except that beautiful women. Did you understand that? So that mind has given a value. Out of attachment, out of delusion. Continue the story. You are in delusion. You had a big picture. Now the mind is consumed by that big picture of the women. Women remains the same. She did not increase weight, height, beauty, nose, nothing. But my mind has created. That is the value. Did you get it? Say yes, even if you don't get it. Now that big picture goes with your mind, you are not able to sleep. So sleep disturbances. So yesterday he was saying that, I have a lot of sleep disturbances. So I said, very good. I will continue my profession. I'll continue. He said, do you see that this is what happens every second, every moment? It should happen. What are you saying? It should happen? Then I'll become crazy. No, it is happening now. What do you mean? It is happening with me. I have a big picture of the live session. In the background is the monitors, the background is the light. So in that case, mind is helper. But if the mind is more attached to the monitor, to the light, to the mouse, to the keyboard, then what will happen? I will not be able to give you a lesson. I wanted to bring this problem. This problem is always there. I don't know. I created a big picture to have a live session, but who knows, this mind will cause the delusion or attachment or liking or disliking, and everything is destroyed. That destruction results into anxiety, duality, conflict. Did you understand? My son is suffering, I'm upset. Big picture. There is no reason to get upset. But my mind is consumed by it. Are you understanding that point? It happens in pleasure, it happens in pain. You have a small pain in the shoulder and you make it so big. Who makes it? Mind. I given the blood for the test. Are you scared? I said, why should I be scared? No, you can close your eyes. I said, no, I will not close my eyes. I will look into it, what you do. Mind is a helper, mind is a barrier. When the mind is a barrier, you are attracted, mind is consumed by that. Even forget about the girl. You go to the mall and you say, this shirt is very good. But you don't buy it. It has created an impression. So after a few days or a weeks, you go back again. Your mind says, now I will take revenge. Why you didn't buy? And then you stop at that store. You say, this shirt is good. Who told you the shirt is good? Who told you? We have to live into that extraordinary awareness all the time. J. Krishnamurti says, meditation is nothing but to live, to perceive in that extraordinary awareness where the mind, now I'm adding my own expression, now the mind does not create a very big picture where you get consumed. You are not consumed. Mind is not consumed. Let us create a big picture. No problem at all. Are you getting it? Say yes. You create a big picture, you are suffering. You create a big picture, you are in pleasure seeking. You create a big picture, you are into anxiety. You create a big picture, you are in depression. That is the problem. So the value based on attachment, detachment, likes and dislikes, anger and hesitation creates a big value. That is why we say we have 6 enemies. Pleasure, prompted desire outside because of attachment and detachment. Repeat desire is the greed. Desire is not fulfilled is anger or hesitation or stress. All the 3 combines, it gives you the delusion. Delusion gives you the pride. It ultimately results into jealousy, as long as now the mind says, I already have a value. I have a value of the likes and dislikes. What do you mean? No. He's my son. So I must have a value. Yes, I should have a value. But the mind says, I have the 6 enemies with you. So those 6 enemies differentiates my son of the same age with the son of my neighbors. That is also good. But after that, I am consumed. That is the problem. Did you understand? Why I am consumed? I have given value. That mind should give a value to the knowledge. Mind should marry to the knowledge or intellect. How it will marry? 3 factors. Satsang. We'll talk about this satsang. Satsang is first. We are doing satsang at this time. Satsang, bhakti. The word is used as a bhakti, the pure emotion. The emotion should not be directed there. Because I like you, there is an emotion. But what kind of emotion it is? Emotion in attachment also. Emotion in anger also. Look at the Eastern wisdom. Look at the in-depth psychology. Look at the understanding. How the master says. Remember, knowledge, teacher, intellect, prarabdha, vasana means the past impression, emotion, feeling, devotion, mind. Mind number 1, it experiences I am in love. Based on prarabdha. Mind number 2, it perceives I am love. So what I have to offer you? I have to express in love. Is there any value given outside? No. Why no? Because the value, mind is already married to the knowledge. You are suffering. Should I also cry with you? No. You're there. If you understood, it's okay. If you did not, I can give you a couple of more examples. So it means I only need an awareness if the value, I also talked about it, evaluate. That comes value and evaluate. Value and evaluate. You are staring at someone and you are looking at someone. Find out where is the value. And then ask the reason why you are staring. You will come to know your problem is in the mind. Problem is not that beauty is outside. Are you understanding that point? The 100, it happens every day. It happens every day. I like coffee. Coffee is not harming you. Your physical well-being is everything is okay. Yeah, take coffee. It's okay. But if the value is based on, remember, then there is a problem. Otherwise, there is no problem in relationship from your side. There is no problem in where you are, the way you are living. I don't want to say, but I'm saying you can live with a criminal, you can live with a monk, you can live with a master. You are independent. Think. We are moving to the next level. So if you don't apply this in your life, you start applying since the time you wake up until you retire to the bed. You have to do it. If you don't do it, it means that you become your own teacher, and indirectly you are also becoming a teacher to the others. My master says that I don't make my seekers, I don't make disciples, I make masters only. I still remember, I don't forget it. Now see, if I remember this, my mind remembers that I make masters. So you are always on the equal footing with me. Me as a teacher and you are a student. There is no difference. But how it helps me? It helps me to keep my ego in check. So should I continue? Yes, I should continue. You have given a value to your son. You are father or a mother. So there is a difference. No, I am a mother. I have a lot of experiences. You see? That is the curse of the value, and that is also an opportunity for the value. Understand this clearly. From today, just become aware. You are giving a value to some event, some situation, some relationship outside, out of attachment, delusion, likes and dislikes. You have to suffer instantly, or maybe after a few days or few weeks. And that is what I explained you. Many zeros before one, many zeros after one. One remains as one. Why the one remains as one? This mind remains as one. Mind. Mind is meant for a perception. Finished. That knowledge from there that I am of the nature of love should be filled in the mind. Mind has only one thing, is to perceive the things as it is. Do not destroy that perception. That is the meaning of compassion. That is the meaning of love. That is the meaning of choiceless awareness. That is the meaning of living from moment to moment. Did you get it? I gave you an example of the onion. All the layers are gone. Where is the mind? Mind is nowhere. What remains is the knowledge. What is that knowledge? Knowledge is a consciousness. What is that consciousness? Consciousness is the real self. That is why Dennis and Samir said, come back. And someone, Ashok, was saying, oh mind, be at peace, this will also pass. Dennis also explained, you look at this. You are understanding the value in the mind coming from after the marriage between the mind and the knowledge, or mind and the intellect. You have no issue at all. You have no issue at all. Even the problems is outside. Even there is a difficult situation. Think. I'm not saying just believe it. I'm simply asking you to think. You go to the store, you find a person, your mind likes it, you started giving a value, the mind is consumed by that person. So instead of being consumed, I'm using the word, now the mind has a very bigger frame about that person as compared to the rest. Why I blurred the screen? So that you should not be distracted. You should keep focusing on this beard. Means listening. No, a lot of people, give a lot of pictures, they have. No. Dennis, how are you? I have already created a big picture. The rest of the people are blurred. It's okay. Help it. Minus attachment, duality, conflict. Mind is not giving the value outside. Inside. How dare you can enter into anxiety in that state? How dare you can enter into stress? One master say it is the process of discernment and dispassion. Because every master has their own way. Can you apply this DD? So mind by default will continue to apply the delusion and the duality. That delusion contains all those attachment, likes and dislikes. For example, your dad suffering, you get upset. Now behind that dad, he is also a human being. And then your mind applies the knowledge, he had done something wrong, so that's why he is suffering. What should I do? Let me take care of him as much as I can. Finished. No, I will cry. Who says I will cry? Mind. Why the mind wants to cry? Because it has given a value out of the attachment and delusion. But it is a social norm, we should cry. Really? You remember I told you that I used to live in Delhi, so our neighbors, and she was always laughing, full of life, never cared. I had never seen her crying. And one day I woke up in the morning and I heard her crying. She was crying so loudly. So in India we used to enter without permission, even into the homes. When the door is open, we open. And I saw that her father-in-law is dead, and but other people were also there. They're sobbing, tears were there, but I heard the noise of this lady who was crying so hard. So I went to the room. I said, "What the heck are you doing?" I have never seen you. You see my relations told me that if you don't cry, then you are not suffering. I'll stop this crying. Society imposes us. Society lives unconsciously. You cannot have a collective evolution. You always have an individual awakening. You are awakened, second person is awakened, third person is awakened, five people are awakened. We can say it's a collective evolution, but everyone has to evolve. Everyone has to awaken by, everyone has to take care of the mind. 9th, 10th, and the 11th step. I told you satsang, we are going to talk about this satsang now, later, or in the following sessions. Bhakti, the emotion, emotional intelligence, you can say, and the third part is the 6 treasures in the mind. So instead of 6 enemies, if the mind continues to live with the 6 treasures, inner wealth, your life is transformed. It is the transformation of your life. What is that transformation? You awaken to the inner potential. What is that inner potential? Inside there is a blood, bone. No, we are not talking of that inner. Inner is at the subtler level, which cannot be perceived by the senses. Sometimes we get carried away. Oh, inner potential, I have to go inside. Where inside? Inside is a rise in consciousness. You fall in love, you rise in love. Mind with a value, guided by the knowledge is there, you rise in love. Mind is dictated by, you can complete this sentence, you fall in love. Not only you are helping yourself, because you are evolving, you live into that higher awareness. You have already started helping the people nearby you, those who are related to you. You are able to maintain that poise and the calm. You are helping not only yourself, I would say you are helping minimum 50 or 100 people who are surrounded, with whom you communicate, with whom you talk. Is it not a good thing? But yes, if you apply these principles regularly, the life is going to change. To remind you again, do you remember? Always remember Vidya Dadati Vinayam. Knowledge to humility. Vinayam Dadati Patratam. What a beautiful verse. Vinayam. So humility makes me a seeker, the qualified seeker of this journey of this self-discovery. You can be extremely arrogant and you can be highly successful doctor. It applies in the professional field. It doesn't apply in the Eastern wisdom. It will not work. Try this. Try this. I rely on the knowledge of the masters. You try this, it will not work. Think. So the humility makes you a qualified seeker. The qualified seeker, patratvat dhanamapanoti. When you are a qualified seeker, it gives you the inner wealth of wisdom. When you have an inner wealth of wisdom, at least, you can continue to maintain your livelihood. 1 million people are not listening, 10 people are listening, you are able to maintain your livelihood. I cannot promise that you become a billionaire like Buddha. Oh, Buddha was a billionaire, yes. You find the number of monasteries or the temples of the Buddha in largest number in the world. That's why I'm saying he's a billionaire. You don't perceive from the other side. Vidya dadati vinayam, vinayam dadati patratam. Inner wealth of wisdom. What that inner wealth of wisdom does, wisdom means knowledge applied. What is that knowledge applied? I am real self. What that means, you are awakened. At present, I have a lot of pain, and you are talking of awakening. I am more awakened to the pain. Mind is consumed. Mind is consumed. I need that awareness to know. I'm not able to walk. Mind is consumed. Why? You are not the body. Close your eyes. Eyes are closed. Place, position, posture. My friends, place. You are consumed by a place without attachment. Done. I told you that whatever we discuss, we translate that. That is why even the steps are the same, the practice is totally different. One day you practice with reference to being consumed or not consumed. Posture, position. That the position of the body becomes a very big picture in your mind. That makes you steady. But if there is some interferences from where? Did you understand? From where? You have given value to some of your past thoughts, past impression. Mind is completely married to the intellect. Posture is maintained. Position is there. Being comfortable, yes, it is also there. Why? Because I recognize that comfort is independent of any of these past impressions. Be carefree. Separated those feeling and emotions coming from the past and the vasanas and the prarabdha. I'm not consumed by them. I consume them. How? By being carefree. If you know others will listen to this talk, they say, oh, this guy is crazy. But you cannot say because you have been learning and understanding. That is why many of the text writes these verses directly and we do not understand, we give them a wrong interpretation and the problem is there. That is why we have teacher, told you, teacher, knowledge, intellect, seeker, etc., etc. Being carefree. Look at the flow of the breath. Now, we are consumed in a better way. Minus, you are looking at the flow of breath without getting attached to the breath. When you are attached to the breath, obviously, then it will change. You will change the rate and the rhythm of the breath. You will not be able to watch and observe the flow of the breath is equal or not. In that state, you look at the first neighbor, and the first neighbor from outside is the world of people, past, event. What you are looking? Mind, are you consumed by anything outside? Oh no, I'm free. You're meditating in a better way. You are consumed. Yes, you recognize it. Still, you are meditating. That is how we progress. So, you see what is going to happen if you do any practice of meditation and you apply the principles. It will work. Second neighbor, the body. Am I consumed by the body? No. Body is separate from me. It is aging every day. It has its challenges, but I'm not consumed by the challenges. Then only you prove, validate, experience that I'm separate from the body. Otherwise, if there is sense of attachment and sensuality, etc., at this moment, obviously, then you know what happens. Third neighbor, energy. Without energy, this body cannot work. I cannot speak. Mental energy, emotional energy, physical energy, and digestive energy, enzymes, hormones are all energy level. That is what we say the unit of that energy is prana. Energy is misdirected in anxiety, then what happens? But when it is not misdirected, I have not given a value to it. Just see clearly. Mind is still confused? You have every opportunity to ask the questions to remove the doubt. And the fourth one is the mind. Mind with the duality and a delusion. That is what we have been talking about. Mind must create a big, very big picture of meditation. How I create a very big picture of meditation? I start visualizing and imagining how my master used to remain still, calm for 3 hours in a meditation. It will help. I created a big picture. But mind creates the big picture by default. Then you fall in love and attachment, etc., etc., etc. Okay, the fifth one is I thought. This I thought is now the knowledge. And still we have yet to know we are the real self. Hence we ask the mind, take this value. What is the value? Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Charge your mind with emotion. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. May there be happiness for all. May there be happiness for all. May there be happiness only for me. Find out the value. Many other thoughts are entering into my mind, but I won't say that. You may feel bad. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. May there be peace for all. Peace for all. Not only peace for me. Only peace and peace for all. Do you see the value? So we are in America, so America works with what we say, with the tagline. What is the tagline of today's meditation? Value meditation. So I understand, but I don't give any label. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu, Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu, Sarvesham Purnam. May there be completeness. Who is complete? Real self. What remains incomplete? What begins with incompleteness? What will continue to be incomplete? Whatever is changing. What is changing is the six neighbors. Should I give value to these six neighbors? No. Even if you say no, you are absorbed deeper inside. But if you say no with that awareness, value less outside, what happens? Only the value to the real self. Sarvesham, Sarvesham, Mangalam Bhavatu, Sarvesham, Mangalam Bhavatu, Sarvesham, Mangalam Bhavatu. May there be auspiciousness for all. Same thing. I am not saying anything. I am simply requesting you, pleading you, let your mind say what I am saying to you. That is enough to change. Why is said so? Meditation is always so simple and easy practice to do. Let us give value now to the breath. So let your mind be consumed by the breath. What that means? Endurance. What that means? Joy of doing it. Now, did you understand this point? I believe so. Look inside the forehead in the space. Drop Om Shanti. Start breathing into the rib cage, long, deep in the hissing breath. Consciously, intentionally, you want to be consumed by the breath. You will have the same experience of self-absorption. Try this. Here, inhaling and exhaling equally, expansion and contraction of the rib cage. These are the subtle points of giving value to the breathing at this moment. You're breathing, you're dropping the mantra inside your forehead in the space, and you're maintaining the stillness all these subtle points creates a very big picture about your breathing. I need not to say endurance and the joy of doing. You combine both of them, it is a value. It's a price, it's a cost. Continue. We all know your mind will invite a particular thought or emotion or prarabdha or the past impression which will react, and your mind smiles. I have already given value to the breath. Why you are holding me? Something like that. If it remains all the time, what is going to happen to your life? Now stop it. Pay attention to the flow of the breath. Now the value shifted to the flow of the breath. Okay. Add one more thing. Drop Om Shanti on the 16 segments of fingers. With that awareness of the breath and behind what is supporting your sensation, relaxation, stillness, calmness. Value meditation. So while dropping Om Shanti on these segments of fingers, you are also aware how the mind wants to value something else from the past, experiences of likes and dislikes, of attachment, detachment, of delusion, of pain, of pleasure, of long list. inside the heart. Visualize the triangle of any color. Move the mind on each side of a triangle, clockwise, anti-clockwise, dropping Om Shanti. And when you see there is a sync, and that is the right moment to push the mind. You see that? You push the mind. You're asking the mind to have the value inside. Pushing the mind with Om. Mind seems to stop. Shanti, self-absorption, finished. Meditation is not finished, but your mind, which was you contemplate and reflect again and again and again and daily during every day and during also in all your activities. What is going to happen? Your mind will move into that state of meditation. Without practice, yes. Very contemplation, reflection is your practice. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your Buddha palms, place it in your eyes. Open the eyes inside the palms. Know your experiences. Bring the hands down. We'll share our experiences. If you have any question, you are free to ask. How are you, Dennis?
Thank you for this session. My summary of today's session is that when the mind is fixed on a particular emotion or an object, it loses the ability to see the big picture, and the value of that particular object to the mind increases. So we must know this and examine whether this value is real. But this feature of the mind can also be helpful if we focus the mind on the idea that I'm the real self. Then the other objects and emotions and thoughts become blurred, and the only thing in focus is the real self. So that this kind of a helpful feature that can be used in meditation. And my meditation was very calm and absorbed. Thank you.
Beautiful. So we have to be aware all the time. Value outside, value inside. That is another way to it. That is why, many masters starts teaching move mind inside. Now, can you imagine? Can you think and reflect on, oh, they are talking of this value. They are not saying that, no desire. They are not talking of that. They are saying the pleasure prompted desire. Pleasure prompted desire? Why pleasure prompted desire from outside? Because I have already projected happiness outside. So it is going to create problem. That is the thing. Very good. How are you, Stephen?
Sir, thank you. I take away from this the importance of the extraordinary awareness, as you stated through the lesson. And with that is the importance of marrying the mind and the knowledge to realize the value of what's truly important. And to me, that value lies in the real self. And that has to start the moment that your eyes open in the morning, which is what you've been trying to tell us, that it starts immediately. So therefore, I can now focus that the value has to be the real self, and everything else is not that important. So if I could keep that throughout the entire day, that would allow me to sit within meditation and be in that state of calm and know what's truly important. And that led to a meditation today that was extremely quiet and very quick. So thank you.
Yeah, beautiful. I can only evolve to the higher awareness if I follow the first 8 steps. There is no other remedy. You ignore them and you just start living with the value outside or inside. It will never happen. And the summary of that 8 steps is what I said, Vidya Dadati. Knowledge, humility, qualified seeker, inner wealth of wisdom. Otherwise, it is not going to happen. Second, third, and the fourth step, that it removes that clumsiness inside. My heart is very much contracted. It is full of values to the things, to the wealth, to the relationship, already given. It is deposited. It is as if it is a fixed account. And that is broken by the 8 steps. Then what happens? You start living into the extraordinary awareness, and that changes your life. How are you, David and Jerry?
Thank you. Lesson was great. The focus for me during the lesson was value. And English creates multiple meanings for one word, and value has different meanings in the English language. So the values can be, for me, are about what my values are, what I stand for. But you can also value something outside, or you can also create value. That's what I do for things like that. So I think what you just said is value is inside, just kind of, and there's value outside, and they're different. Just kind of resonated. Meditation was deep, so thank you.
Yes, you are perfectly right. The different names of the value, maybe the price, the cost, the worth. Oh, in stock shares, we say market price. Appraisal is also a value. But at the moral and ethical level, those values are principles. No, I have this principle. I am not going to move from this ideal standard or ethic. That is also a value. That is also a value. Value also means, appreciate, cherish. What lightness and darkness is also a value. Now you need to think, David touched upon important point that value means something else. All the values expressed outside comes from one value. That is what we are talking about. All the values outside, moral, ethical level, treasure, market price, lightness, darkness, you just think of it. And you will find there is only one. How are you, Jerry?
Sir, I'm good, thank you. That's where my mind went, was to one value, being attached to the one value, which is never changing. And then if we really are attached to that, then we don't have any concern about all the gamut of events. We know exactly how to be in those events.
Yes. Yes. To give you a very bad example, but but that is an example, whether it's a bad or good. Huh? So in India, we commonly say that, the husband loves neighbor's wife more than his wife. So I have already given a value there. Now it applies to the husbands also and the wife alike, but that is a value. We even out of the joke we say. So yes, the value guided by the attachment. Now you should be clear. If you are clear, let me start thinking, speaking, and acting out of that. It is an internal state. You are angry only because you have given a value where your conclusion is the value is defied, value is rejected. That is why you are anxious, that is why you are angry, that is why you are agitated. Otherwise, there is no reason. And that is why we have to live into that extraordinary awareness. It can only happen if you don't remind yourself the first 8 steps. Try to do it. It will not happen. How are you, Brenda? Value meditation. You were smiling when I said.
I thought it was funny. Yeah. I thought that maybe a little bit backwards in the sense that I reflected that when I placed value on delusion and other things in my past, it yielded nothing. Right? It didn't. There's nothing to show for it now, and so that was sort of how I intellectualized it or justified it, because there've been, like you mentioned, these past impressions, a lifetime placing value on things that really weren't valuable and that haven't got me anywhere. So that was useful, and my meditation was really deep. Thank you.
Good. Yes, it yields nothing if value given to the delusion. It yields nothing, but it yields anxiety and stress and duality and a conflict here and now. It can happen if you have given value to the delusion. So it yields nothing, it means that I move into the nothingness. That is the positive point here. So beautifully said. How are you, Barbara?
All the values in the world equal, and if they are, is the only way to make a choice by looking inward.
I did not understand. You're asking a question?
Yes, I'm asking a question.
What question? Can you repeat it?
The question is, are all the values in the outside world equal? And is the only way to make a choice, looking inward?
Yeah. Looking inward, you see that 5 zeros before 1. You have not given value to anything. So what exists ultimately? 1 still exists. What is that 1? That is you. Why to worry about it? Now you give value 1 0 after 1. You are my honey. 2 0. You are my son. 3 zeros. Now you start putting it. So now this 1 is deviated. 1 is mixed. That is why it is 100. That is why it is 10. But 1 still remains 1. Can you make it mathematically? 1 still remains 1. So when the mind gives value to that 1, I am the real self. I am of the nature of peace and happiness. Finished. Everything is done. That is what is we say that it is awakening, it is realization. Oh, a lot of words I use. So yes, Christina, how are you?
Thank you so much. I think what landed for me today is the power of choice every moment throughout the day to come back to the right value from within.
Yes, right value within. So analyze that young guy who went to the restaurant to dine, to eat food, but then he got obsessed and got attracted to that girl sitting at the next table. Now you see making a choice. From where the choice will come, because I'm already into obsession. Obsession is my choice. That is a problem. Do you see? Pleasure is my choice, obsession is my choice, then what will happen? So many people come to me, obsession. They don't say, but I understand them. Their obsession is a choice, and they said, I want to live in harmony. Really? Okay. Live in harmony. You have to take 5 or 6 births to live in harmony. I don't say them, but I mean it, because then I have to take another route. There are many other, challenges we face. No, we have been doing it for so many months and years. I have already done 20 sessions and there is no change. Am I responsible, or you are? You are still giving the value to the obsession, to the delusion. So you remove one delusion, you enter into another delusion. It happened to one of the seekers here. What should I do? Anyhow, it's okay. Christina, we have done. Terry, how are you? Good. Give value not to the body. Give value. You are free. for the sake of transactional reality, for the sake of worldly life, you have a problem. But you are a seeker, you are a spiritual person, there is no problem.
Thank you.
Good. How are you, Vaibhav?
Thank you, sir. So mind is calm, practice was peaceful, and the understanding is that to what and how much value I give to something will define the state of my mind. So if I do not overvalue anything, then
Yeah.
my mind state will always be balanced and it will be calm.
I like it. To recognize whether I have given more value or less value, I have to follow the 8 steps. Again, I'm reminding you, otherwise it will not happen. You rightly made a good statement, but if I don't follow that, then who knows whether I have given more value or less value? I'm already infatuated, I'm already moving into the sensuality, I'm already obsessed. Who will recognize? So to separate, I have to follow those 8 steps. That will help me to rise in awareness, and by which I can understand that. Just think of this. How masters have created these 40 steps. It's so amazing. When I look so deep, when I contemplate and reflect, I could see their genius. They did not talk about the value in the very beginning. They said, study Eastern wisdom to study yourself. Oh, such a simple step. No, it is not such a simple step. Study yourself means many layers of understanding. And then out of that understanding, mind is still obsessed. So you give a break by the second step. Anyhow, leave this. I'm using this AI Fireflies AI note taker that you already see it. I tell you a great thing, and it prompted into my mind, so I'm using that expression. I think I've been using it hardly for the last 2 months. It cost me a certain amount of money. That's a secondary thing. What I wanted to say that this note taker, when I read the transcript, it has adapted American, Indian, English language. English means Hindi plus English. It has adapted my pronunciation. How long you have been attending these sessions? How long? What changes have come? On a lighter note, I'm saying, don't get upset. When this AI can adapt, anyhow, I have already thrown the understanding. How are you, Sangeeta?
सर कई बार बहुत सटल लेवल पे हम बाहर दुनिया की चीजों को वैल्यू देते हैं फिर रियलाइज होता है कि इम्पोर्टेंट क्या है.
Yes, she has raised a beautiful point. I am obsessed, I am deluded, or say for example for the food I overeat, I am attracted, attached. Once that big picture has to go one time, because the mind cannot continue with that big picture. So it is already gone. Now I realize. So every time this happens, that is what is known as the impulsiveness. That is what is known as addiction. I wanted to define these words. Anyhow, that is all for today. Thank you very much. We'll meet again.
Namaste.
Thank you, sir.
Namaste.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.